a single thought, a fleeting intention. These are the invisible sparks that shape everything you experience. You may not see them, you may not hear them, but they are powerful currents moving quietly beneath the surface of your life. And here's the paradox. Transformation often looks dramatic from the outside. A sudden breakthrough, an unexpected opportunity, a life that seems to shift overnight. But when you look deeper, you discover that these changes always begin invisibly, with the smallest inner adjustments. A decision to focus on gratitude instead of frustration. A choice to breathe deeply rather than react. A moment where you catch yourself and shift from doubt into curiosity. These subtle moments are the true birthplaces of transformation. From the outside, it looks like a leap. From the inside, it was a single step of awareness. This is the great secret. Massive shifts do not require massive force. They require subtle alignment. And once you understand this, you realize that every moment of your life holds the potential for a quantum leap. So let's explore how small shifts in consciousness create extraordinary transformation. How you can harness them, embody them, and watch your reality change in ways you never thought possible. Have you ever noticed how one small choice can ripple out into your entire day? Maybe you wake up late, spill your coffee, and suddenly every little thing feels off. Or maybe you decide, for no reason at all, to smile at a stranger. And that moment of kindness shifts your entire mood. These are not coincidences. They are demonstrations of the butterfly effect of consciousness. Just like a butterfly's wings can set off a chain of weather patterns across the globe, a single thought, a single shift in perception, can set off a cascade of changes in your reality. Picture this. You drop a stone into still water. At first, it seems insignificant, a tiny splash. But watch closely, and you'll see ripples spreading outward, touching every part of the surface. That's exactly how your consciousness works. When you choose wonder instead of fear, trust instead of resistance, you're not just changing one thought. You're sending ripples through the entire field of your reality. That single choice alters how you perceive yourself, how you respond to others, and what possibilities you're able to recognize. Here's what most people don't realize. Your external reality is never fixed. It is shaped, moment to moment, by the quality of your awareness. If you approach life expecting obstacles, you'll notice them everywhere. But if you shift into a state of openness, you'll begin to see opportunities where there were none before. The difference is not the world itself, it's the lens you're looking through. Now, imagine stacking these small shifts over time. Choosing peace over frustration, choosing curiosity over judgment, choosing self-compassion over self-criticism. Each choice sends ripples through your life, and as those ripples overlap and amplify each other, they create entirely new realities. Suddenly, what seemed impossible becomes possible. What once felt heavy begins to feel light, and it all began with a single shift in perspective. This is why no change is too small. Even the gentlest adjustment carries immense power. Because when you shift your consciousness, you shift the field that everything else emerges from. That is the butterfly effect of your awareness. And here's where it gets even more interesting. You don't need to force these changes. You don't need to struggle or fight with your reality. The true power lies not in effort, but in resonance. Most people are taught that transformation requires struggle, push harder, work longer, fight for every inch of progress. And yes, sometimes effort is part of the journey. But real transformation doesn't come from brute force. It comes from frequency. Think of it like tuning a radio. If you're on the wrong station, it doesn't matter how much you crank up the volume. You'll just get louder static. But if you make a small, precise adjustment to the dial, suddenly the static clears and the music comes through effortlessly. Transformation works the same way. It's not about pushing harder. It's about aligning with the right frequency. When you're stuck in resistance, life feels heavy. You might take all the right actions, but they seem to lead nowhere. That's because the vibration underneath those actions is one of struggle. But when you shift your frequency, even slightly, everything begins to flow. The same action taken from a higher vibration creates completely different results. This is why practices like meditation, breath work, or simply pausing to recalibrate your energy are so powerful. They're not about escaping reality. They're about tuning your inner vibration so that you're aligned with the outcomes you truly desire. When you shift your state, reality responds. Here's a simple example. Imagine trying to solve a problem when you're stressed and frustrated. Your mind loops endlessly, and solutions feel out of reach. Now imagine stepping away, taking a deep breath, and calming your energy. Suddenly, ideas arise effortlessly. Solutions you couldn't see before become obvious. The problem didn't change. You did. And that shift in frequency revealed possibilities that were invisible at lower vibrations. But here's the key. These frequency shifts don't need to be dramatic. You don't have to jump from despair to euphoria. Even a slight upward adjustment, a little more patience, a little more trust, changes everything. Just like the radio dial, it's often the tiniest turn that makes the biggest difference. So instead of asking, "How can I force this change?" begin asking, "What frequency am I on right now?" Because once you shift your vibration, your reality cannot help but shift to meet it. And that leads us to something even more powerful: the way your beliefs act as the tuning mechanism for your entire reality. If frequency is the music of your life, then belief is the tuner that sets the station. You can think of your beliefs as the hidden settings of your consciousness. They determine what frequencies you even have access to. And here's the surprising part. Most of these beliefs are not loud or obvious. They are quiet, often unconscious assumptions that shape everything you see and experience. Imagine walking down a hallway filled with doors. Behind each door is a possibility, an opportunity, a new path, a reality waiting to be experienced. But here's the catch. You can only open the doors you believe are real. If you believe you're unworthy, certain doors will remain invisible. If you believe the world is hostile, your attention will constantly lock onto obstacles. But the moment you shift a single belief, even by a fraction, the hallway changes. Suddenly, doors you never noticed before are visible, and with a gentle turn of perception, they swing open. This is the quantum power of belief. A belief isn't just a thought you repeat. It's the frequency filter that decides what you allow yourself to perceive. When you say, "I could never do that," you close a door. When you say, "Maybe it's possible," you crack the door open. And when you declare, "I know this is meant for me," you fling it wide. Think about the times in your life when you surprised yourself, moments where you achieved something you once thought was impossible. What changed? Your belief shifted, and with that shift, your perception, your choices, and your results all aligned to match. The empowering truth is this: you don't have to overhaul every belief at once. Transformation happens through micro shifts. Ask yourself, what if it is possible? What if there's another way? What if I'm more powerful than I think? Each of these questions plants seeds of possibility, expanding your hallway of doors. Beliefs are not prisons, they are tuners. And the moment you begin to question and adjust them, you unlock dimensions of reality that were always present, waiting for you to notice. Now, if beliefs open the doors of possibility, where do the most powerful leaps actually occur? They happen in the mysterious in-between, the liminal space. We often think transformation is about action, about doing more, achieving more, moving faster. But the deepest shifts occur not in the doing, but in the pause before the doing. In that still, almost invisible space where potential gathers before becoming reality. This is the liminal space, the threshold between what was and what is yet to come. It's the silence before a note of music, the inhale before you speak, the moment of stillness before a wave crashes on the shore. And here's the paradox. It is in these smallest pauses that entire realities pivot. Think about the split second before you respond to someone. In that moment, you hold infinite possibilities. You can react with anger, or you can choose patience. You can close down, or you can open up. That single pause carries the weight of entire timelines. Most people rush past the liminal space, afraid of the stillness. They want certainty, answers, immediate action. But the ones who transform most powerfully are those who learn to dwell in the in-between. Because in that space, you're not bound by the momentum of the past. You're free to choose something new. Living in the liminal space means learning to trust the pause. It means recognizing that waiting, breathing, and listening are not empty acts. They are acts of alignment. They allow your frequency and your beliefs to settle into coherence. So when you do act, your steps are precise, powerful, and aligned. This is why great leaps often feel sudden, even miraculous. They build quietly in the liminal space, gathering potential until one small choice releases the flood. From the outside, it looks like an overnight change. From the inside, it was a quiet pause that rewrote the future. And this brings us full circle, because every quantum leap begins not with force, not with noise, but with the smallest invisible decision. Every quantum leap begins with a nearly invisible choice, the smallest act of trust, the quietest shift of attention, the gentlest change in vibration. These are the sparks that ignite massive transformation, not through force, but through resonance. Your life is not waiting for a dramatic event to change it. It is waiting for you to make the micro shifts that align you with higher frequencies. A lighter thought, a kinder belief, a deeper pause. Each one ripples outward into extraordinary outcomes. The leap is not measured in distance. It is measured in alignment. The more aligned you become with the frequencies of trust, openness, and wonder, the more your reality transforms effortlessly around you. Thank you for watching.